filled with high hopes. Welcome back to Sports Saturday, the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium, and fans still filing in for the World Junior Figure Skating Championships. A look at the ice surface, pristine and clear here in Kitchener, as the best young ones in the world get set to go. And here are some young ones here who are filing in as the last of the fans for those World Junior Figure Skating Championships. You know, this is a sport which has come so far as science and technology is concerned. Take a look at these hinged boots. That's the latest in skate technology. We're going to have more on this later in the show on the science of sport. What next? By the way, at the World Junior Figure Skating Championships in 1978, our commentators, Barb Underhill and Paul Martini, won the gold medal in the pairs event. That was in Megève, France. This is the stage, the place from which to graduate, and the honor roll is fairly impressive. The World Junior Figure Skating Championships have been a stepping stone for some of the world's best skaters. American Christy Yamaguchi burst onto the world scene in 1988, winning the pairs event with partner Rudy Galindo. And then she dazzled the crowd and doubled her success with gold in the singles event. 8 years later, in Brisbane again, Russian star Alexei Yagudin, before becoming Olympic champion and four-time world champion, starred at the World Juniors 2 with a gold medal performance. Long before the controversy at Salt Lake City, the Russian pairs team of Maria Petrova and Anton Shigurlidze won gold in Colorado Springs. That was also where Michelle Kwan became world junior champion before winning her first of 4 world championships. Jessica Dube and Bryce Davidson of Canada won a silver medal in the pairs competition last year at the World Junior Championships in The Hague, the Netherlands. Come on through the door here. We're going into the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium. The crowd is in place, getting ready for the skating. We're going to the pairs event first, the free skate. And with the call, here are Mark Lee, Barb Underhill, and Paul Martini.
Thank you, Scott. The open ice at City Hall beckons these ginger first steps as the city of Kitchener welcomes the world's future stars of figure skating. They are the next generation. So young, and yet so talented. Their teenage years belie their world-class scores. Homegrown on home ice, junior Canadians have come poised for the podium. The ice is keen, the competition keener, and today the ice will be their canvas. Kitchener's Memorial Auditorium, where today one of the deepest Canadian teams ever has been assembled to take on a strong international field at the World Junior Figure Skating Championships. Good afternoon, I'm Mark Lee, along with former world champions Barb Underhill and Paul Martini, as we get set for the pairs free skate this afternoon. You know, a Canadian has not won a gold medal in this event since 1978, when Barb and Paul, interestingly enough, did it back in Megève, France. And here they are on the podium. Paul, a strapping 17 years old, and Barb, all of 14.
That's a beauty, isn't it?
Must bring back memories.
Well, that event was one of the most memorable for us because it was the very first event for us. Brian Orser was on that team. Lloyd Eisler was also on the team. And I recall as we were heading over just thinking, I was so excited to see what a Russian would actually look like.
So here we are 27 years later. You know what Russians now look like. I'm wondering, is there good reason to believe that this gold medal drought might end this week in Kitchener?
Absolutely. I believe that this is the strongest junior team that we've ever sent to the Junior Worlds in all 4 disciplines. We have possibility for medal in each of the disciplines and potential for gold in 3 of them, with Christopher Mabey in the men's, Tessa Virtue and Scott Moyer in the dance, and as well Jessica Dube and Bryce Davidson in the pairs.
You know, Paul, it's incredible to think that you and Barb were together just 6 months before you won that junior gold medal back in '78, and that was your very first international competition. I'm wondering how junior skating has changed since then.
It's changed significantly because that was our very first international event. I remember being so nervous for that competition, but for many of the competitors here at the Junior Worlds this year, this is one of numerous events that they've competed in. The juniors have their own Junior Grand Prix series, identical to that of the seniors. They have their own Junior Grand Prix final. So in essence, many of these skaters are already seasoned veterans. Now, the interesting thing is that many of them are too young to appear at the Olympic Games in Torino. But trust me, remember the names you're about to hear here in figure skating this afternoon, because they'll be the names that will appear in Vancouver in 2010.
Paul, let's take a look at the pairs standings after the short program. The Russians, Kokoreva and Golovkin, are first. Look at Dube and Davidson of Canada, nicely positioned in second place. Of course, they won the silver 1 year ago.
The next skaters
from Mississauga,
Canada,
this is Michelle Cronin and Brian Shales in their first ever appearance at the Junior World Championships. They're the Canadian Junior Champions this year, and they plan to make the big leap to the senior competition after this season. They come into this free skate in 9th place.
They've been skating together for several years. They came together as a team in 1999. Actually worked with Paul Marty.
Yes, I remember well when they first got together. They were just very young diamonds in the rough, so to speak. They've come a long way since then. They're being coached now by Chris and Paul Wirtz.
Opening with the triple twist. Not a great deal of height, but not a bad one. Second element is the throw triple Salchow. Very well done.
Group 5 lift, toe overhead. It's two-handed. They never go to a one-arm position, which means it's scored as a level 1 degree of difficulty. A little trouble there on that side-by-side double flip.
Terms you're using are part of this new ISU scoring system, which is being used for the first time at the World Junior Championships. It's a cumulative points scoring system that records technical merit as well as skating ability, choreography.
And what I love about the new system is that every single thing counts. Skaters really have to pay attention to detail now, really work on upping the degree of difficulty in their spins and their footwork in all areas of the skating. And now you're getting the best all-around skater. Throw triple loop, little tight on the landing.
She may have two-footed that landing. Here at the World Junior Championships, the judges have, and the technical controller will have the ability to review every element here. Little difficulty on the landing of that lift. Even with the minor mistakes they've had through the course of this program, impressed by the fact that they've not lost the feel of the program.
You can tell they enjoy this program. They really like the music and they have good energy. Watch the entrance to this back inside death spiral. A little bit slow there at the end, but I like that it's innovative, it's creative. And that's the one area they're really going to need to work on the side-by-side jump element. Other teams will be doing much more difficult jumps.
Well, we will see side-by-side triples from all of the top teams here at this competition, and if you want to make a move in terms of being a contender, you can't come to an international of this caliber as a pair team without a side-by-side triple jump. Oh, Brian having some trouble there on the footwork sequence. Like the dancers trying to incorporate twizzles, and how often do we see difficulty, be it a dance team or a pair team, on the twizzles?
A pretty darn good debut at the World Junior Championships for Michelle Cronin and Brian Shales of Mississauga. And that home crowd helps take the edge off here in Kitchener.
Well, they had a few bumps along the way, but I think overall they'll be pretty pleased with the performance. They had good energy. Here was a great throw triple sow cow, one of the best elements of the program.
This is their toe overhead. You'll see that it remains a two-handed lift. More points could be scored by going to one hand, but that will come with time, confidence, and greater skill level.
For Michelle Cronin and Brian Shales from Canada.
Having it up a little bit for the cameras here, Michelle Cronin and Brian Shales awaiting their marks after their free skate performance here in the pairs. Joined by their coach, Chris Wirtz, former Canadian champion. There are the numbers: 46.81 for technical elements, 38.82 for program components, and a free skate score of 85.63. There's the grand total when you add the short program with the free skate. These are a lot more cumbersome looking numbers, the numbers that replaced the old 6.0 system following that scandal in Salt Lake City. Currently, though, the Canadians are ranked in second place.
The next skaters representing Canada, Megan DML.
Now from Barrie, Ontario, and the Mariposa Skating Club, this is Megan DML and Ryan Arnold teaming up for the first time in pairs this season. Megan is a single skater. This is her first season working in pairs, and she decided to make the change after a disappointing 10th place finish in her first ever senior nationals competition as a singles skater. She actually quit the sport for 3 months, then came back and has found her niche here with Ryan Arnold.
And this is a much more technically demanding program than that of Cronin and Shales. You'll see they're going to try side-by-side triple Lutzes, and as well, for the very first time, they will try a throw triple Lutz, which has never been landed before in international competition.
With a split triple twist.
And now the side-by-side triple Lutzes. They were landed these at the Canadian Championships and were the first ever pair team to land side-by-side triple Lutzes. Here they go. Oh, she does it. Hers was a beauty.
Lasso lift a little slow to get to the top.
And here's their throw triple Lutz.
Fabulous.
She does it. And that's the first throw triple Lutz that we've ever seen landed cleanly in competition.
side-by-side triple sow cows. Ryan having some difficulty with his own individual jumps here today.
Is a throw triple loop. She hangs on to the landing. It's amazing to see just how far she has come in just one season as a pair skater. That tells me she's really born to be a pair skater.
You know, when she came back from her 3-month break from skating and came back to Mariposa trying the pairs with Ryan, they landed their very first 2 throws. And right there, the coaches knew this partnership was born.
Well, as a former pair skater, you can't help but sort of get in sync with the team as they skate, no matter who they are. And I'm watching this particular team. She's really in the groove out there. He, unfortunately, seems to have not quite got in the groove. He's had some trouble with footwork through a couple of lifts. He's had some trouble with his own jumps. And that's one of the things that you have to learn to accept as a pair skater, that you can feel like $1,000,000 out there and be right where you want to be, but sometimes your partner just doesn't quite get there at the same time as you.
Megan DML and Ryan Arnold skating out of Mariposa in Barrie, and newcomers to pair skating here in Kitchener.
Program open with a split triple twist. Gets decent height, little bit of a clutch there on the landing. Goal of the man is to catch the woman at the hips and set her down gently. Their attempt at the side-by-side triple Lutzes. You see Ryan doesn't even begin to break out of the jump as he's making contact with the ice.
Score.
Megan and Ryan joined by Lee Barkell, their coach. And here are the numbers: 43.5 for technical, 39.59 for components, 82.09 in the free skate.
And I think it's important to point out that that throw triple Lutz, that's in any level of competition, junior or senior. So that's a fairly significant accomplishment for this team.
Yes, Megan DML and Ryan Arnold, Barrie breaking new ground in pairs figure skating, currently ranked 4th here in Kitchener. Our coverage of the World Juniors will continue after this. Back at the Odd in Kitchener, Ontario, as we get set for the Russians, Tatiana Kokoreva and Igor Golovkin. The Russians have a glorious history in pairs figure skating, and in this event at the Junior World Championships, a Russian pair has won the gold medal 18 of the past 27 years.
Well, there was so much discussion after the collapse of the former Soviet system as to what was going to happen to the sporting world in that country, given that it would no longer be supported by the government. And over the past number of years, we have certainly not seen any decline in the caliber of skaters. I can't vouch for other sports, but they certainly continue to come to major events and are key players in each and every one of them.
This Russian pair in first place after the short program.
They open nicely with the throw triple sow, and there's a triple toe, double toe combination. Double twist planned here. Most of the teams will be attempting a triple twist.
Here's the throw triple loop jump.
Oh.
She lacked a little confidence as she went to execute the landing. Had to put her hand down to prevent a fall. These skaters all know how critical it is to not fall in a performance, because to do so is a mandatory full point deduction.
Very interesting exit on that overhead lift.
Scheduled side-by-side double axles.
Certainly very strong in the jump department.
And this is where a team such as this will pick up significantly more points, say, over the team of Cronin and Shales, because of the extra difficulty in their jumps.
Had 3 podium finishes over the past 2 years in junior international competition. They were forced to withdraw from the Junior Grand Prix final this year because of illness.
With the hip-hop axle lift.
Dragging his footwork a little bit on that, and whoa! That was a scary moment.
Looked like her weight got way far behind him. Very unusual to see a fall on the back end of a lift like that.
And has that opened the door here?
Really rough through this footwork section.
They look tired.
The lift scheduled here.
That's a little scary as well. This is not a gold medal performance.
Tatiana Kokoreva and Igor Golovkin of Russia, the leaders after the short program, but they may well indeed have opened the door here with that fall after the lift and a unspooling performance over the last minute.
And the first thought that comes to my mind is conditioning here, the way they came out so strong off the top with the side-by-side triples and the throw triple sow. Here's a look at the throw triple loop. This is where things started to unravel for them. Halfway through the performance, they started to get tired.
But we've watched the Russians over years of experience now, and we've seen very rarely do they do a full run-through. They tend to wait and let the energy of the moment carry you through, but it can create situations like that where you're not well conditioned, you're not confident, and you have mistakes like that.
The scores, please, for Tatiana
Kokoreva and Golovkin with coach Natalia Palova.
Technical score.
And here are their scores.
46.83. The program component
And they don't look
score.
too encouraged by those numbers. 89.66 for their free skate.
The total score.
Combining that with their short program score.
89.66. It is a new personal best for them.
It will be a personal best, but will it be enough to hold on to first place in this competition with the Canadians still to come? Dube and Davidson in the wings in Kitchener. Coach Annie Barabé with some final words of encouragement for Jessica Dube and Bryce Davison of Canada. Bryce, of course, from Cambridge, Ontario, just a few kilometers up the road from Kitchener. And Jessica from Saint-Cyril de Wendover. They were the silver medalists in this event last year. They come into this free skate in second place after the short. But Jessica, with knee surgery in December, had to miss the Junior Grand Prix final. And what state is that leg in for this huge performance?
Well, not only did they miss the Junior Grand Prix final, but they withdrew after the short program at the Canadian Championships because they didn't feel ready enough to perform the long program there. So this is a huge performance for this couple. But they were in a great spot. The team that we just watched were the leaders after the short program, and they have certainly opened the door for someone to step through.
They have a lovely long program choreographed by David Wilson.
Opening with the split triple twist.
A little tight on the catch there.
Short triple sow cow. Little touchdown by the free leg and her hand.
Double axles really well in sync together.
Nice speed, flow, carriage, and excellent ice coverage on that lift.
Certainly have chemistry, don't they?
They move very well together. The unison is very, very good. Demonstrated here in the side-by-side spin.
The second set of side-by-side double axles into a double toe loop.
She almost appeared to land on his skate.
Next throw is a throw triple loop. And again, she just can't stick that landing. You have to believe that has something to do with her knee injury. Not having the confidence to push those landings through. I love her air position on this lift. He holds it.
Jessica Dube and Bryce Davison with Coach Annie Barabé. A wonderfully romantic performance to Romeo and Juliet, but slightly flawed.
Well, there were a couple of mistakes, yes, but I think they have to be very pleased with this performance, given what they have been through this season. What saved the performance, I think, was the choreography of this program. They told a story from beginning to end, a very mature performance. And I think it'll be reflected in the program component marks.
Jessica looked healthy here in Kitchener. However, it's one thing to get healthy. It's another thing to have enough time afterwards to get back into game shape, and I just think they didn't have enough time.
Well, they were second after the short program, second last year in this event, and picked to maybe break that Canadian drought, that gold medal drought that has lasted since '78 when Barb and Paul won this very event in Megève, France.
But with only one team left to skate, neither the leaders nor the second place team has really skated to win here tonight.
92.67 for the free skate for Dube and Davidson. And they will go into first place with one Russian team still to come in this pairs free skate. A grand total of 146.56. So the question remains, is it enough to win gold, or will they settle for silver a second year in a row? The Russians still to come when we return to Kitchener. A look down King Street in Kitchener, Ontario, as we return to the World Junior Figure Skating Championships and the final skate of the pairs free program from St. Petersburg in the Russian Federation. Maria Muhortova and Maxim Trankov. They were third after the short program, a lackluster short program for them. Maria has been bothered all week by a throat infection. She was weak and fatigued and had a high temperature, and they actually considered withdrawing. But here they are with a chance to win the gold medal. The door opened by the other Russian team of Kokoreva and Golovkin. When they fell after their lift, they were first after the short, the Canadians second. The Canadians of Davidson and Dube, the team to beat.
With their side-by-side triple toe loops. Very well done. This is the team that won the Junior Grand Prix final earlier this season. Triple twist.
One of the better catches that we've seen on that particular element. Side-by-side double axles.
Up with the throw triple loop. This is a move that Dube and Davidson fell on. Very nice.
Second throw triple sow cow. You just hear how solid that landing edge was.
You could hear Maxime too, he was excited. Interesting to note that this team was part of a two-team partner swap. Their former partners, Shestakova and Lebedev, won this gold medal last year at the Junior Championships ahead of Dube and Davidson. Now they're back to try to do the same thing.
Bit of a shaky lift there, just a little weak.
Maria Muhotova and Maxim Trankov of St. Petersburg, Russia, exhilarated and showing no ill effects from the illness that nearly cost them a chance to skate today.
It was by far the most mistake-free program of this competition, and on a night like tonight, I think that's all you needed to do to take this championship, and I think we just saw this team take home the gold.
Well, certainly they're going to win the technical mark by far. I think it's going to come down to the program components. Here's the side-by-side triple jump. I still felt that Dube and Davidson had a much stronger program overall in terms of the choreography and the interpretation.
But Mark, as you mentioned, all of these teams have had their own little hurdles to overcome here at this event. And they've got to be thrilled being able to skate this well with the lead up they had to tonight.
Well, they were third after the short program, 1.31 points behind the Canadians, Dube and Davidson.
The technical score, 51.44.
Oh, good technical marks for the Russians.
The program component score,
The components, 46.89.
46.89.
That's lower than what the Canadians were awarded, but the overall score is 98.33. Almost 6 points better than the Canadians in the free skate. And with the grand total, that will be enough. 150.91 points. The Russians, Maria Muhotova and Maxim Trankov, have won the gold medal. And backstage, reality sinks in for Dube and Davidson. They will finish with the silver medal for the second year in a row. And so the Russians continue their domination of this pair's event. A silver lining again for Dube and Davidson, and the other Russian pair good for bronze. Here's Paul with the Canadians.
Jessica, Bryce, congratulations on your silver medal here at Junior Worlds. After the season that you've had, this must be a thrill for both of you.
It's a big thrill, actually. We're very happy with the way we skated. It could have been cleaner, but we're excited for our year we've had.
Jessica, you had knee surgery in December. It must have been tough to come back from that and to be able to come back and skate as well as you have. You have to feel really good capturing a silver medal here.
It was tough, but I worked hard and I did my best here, so I'm happy with that.
How did it feel for the two of you to skate at such a major international competition in front of a Canadian audience?
I think it was fun because all the people were here for us, and it really helped. So.
Bryce, for you it must have been a little tough. Your partner's off the ice. You've got to keep training on your own, but you were there for her when it counted.
It was tough, but I knew if it was me in that position, she'd do the same thing for me, and it was fine with me. It was awesome just to come back with the season, finish the season the way we did.
You should both be thrilled. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well, after a performance like that, Dube and Davidson will likely be interviewed a lot more in the future. Still to come from Kitchener, the ladies free skate.